I'm Abe Zucca. This is the Temple of Zucca. You can check out my art at zuccagallery.com. Google the name Abe Zucca. I'm an artist. I'm a painter, writer in downtown Phoenix. This channel is boring for a lot of people because all I do is read. I think it would be more entertaining if the audience was more entertaining instead of just calling me gay and boring and other derogatory terms. If they actually had substance, maybe if they weren't bots. A lot of people on this live feed just say hi. They type the word H and I in it, and that's just what they do. They love saying hello. But really, I'm making this channel to maybe engage a new audience into a conversation about some of these writings I've done. Anyways, this is the Divine Transference of Nick Fuentes. This is part 9. Hate me or love me. Let's try to build some substance on this on the comment section. That would be really awesome. Until then, I'm just gonna be a narcissist and hear my own voice, read my own writing. Let's begin. This is the Philology of the Giants. The Philology of the Giants, Part 9, The Divine Transference. I am Abe Zucca. Let's begin. Language as resurrection of the broken body. Language as resurrection of the broken body. Philology is the science of the fallen tongue. The search for unity is divided speech. Every language is a broken mirror of the original word. Etymology is archaeology of the sacred wound. To study roots is to exhume bones. Syntax is the stitching of the cosmic body into coherence. To speak is to resurrect. The giants are those who remember sound before meaning. They name mountains, not metaphors. Their wounds were thunder, unbroken vibration of body and sky. Language was once a storm, grammar the calm that followed. The giants fell when speech learned modesty. Each tongue still trembles with their echo. Myth is vocabulary before reason. The gods are etymons before theology. Every myth is a conjugation of creation verbs. Narrative is syntax unfolding through time. When myth dies, philosophy inherits its grammar. To interpret a myth is to translate divine speech into human grammar. Words are flesh folded into sound. Metaphor is the reincarnation of the body and meaning. Poetry reanimates the lost nerves of language. Every poem is a resurrection scene. The philologist is a physician of the tongue. Healing speech is the work of Eros within language. Creation begins with an imperative, let there be. The world is a conjugation of to be across the tenses of matter. Genesis is syntax applied to chaos. To decline a noun is to trace its mortality. The verb is the pulse of Eros, the motion of the body through time. Philology is theology disguised as grammar. Memory is the mother of the muses because remembrance gives form to sound. The ear of the cosmos. Each recollected word revives the lost song of the giants. Philology is ritual repetition, speaking again what the world once sang. To remember is to reincarnate. The echo is the proof of immortality. The gods hide in roots. Deus, Theos, Zeus, all storms reduced to syllables. The fall from heaven to etymon is the descent of meaning. Each derivative word is a generation in the divine genealogy. To read an etymology is to perform a resurrection rite. The lexicon is the new pantheon.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Prayer begins where philology ends in pure sound. Voice is breath remembered as word. Speech is incarnation repeated with each exhalation. To speak truly is to align lungs with cosmos. Every utterance is both offering and return. Silence is the womb of articulation. The word that ends, the world will begin it again. Before letters, there were limbs. Before script, gesture. Writing began as dance, petrified into line. The alphabet is the fossil of the cosmic body in motion. Each letter corresponds to an element. Fire equals A, water equals M, earth equals N, air equals S. The giant's task is to teach the stones to speak again. Typography is the modern totemism. The giants rise whenever the scale of meaning expands beyond measure. They are the builders of the vast sentences and impossible songs. And then the human tongue recovers mythic proportion. They rebuild Babel not as tower, but as chorus. Their philology is creation itself, every word a world. When the giants speak again, language will be whole. The fraternal crime in the combined body. Sexual division, parental coitus, in the politics of blood. The first cut is cosmic. Heaven severed from earth, father from mother. The sky withdraws into castration. Creation begins with separation. The wound between them is time itself. Every generation reenacts the primal rift, love born through division. The world's duality is inherited trauma, memory of severed divine coitus. The task of myth is to heal the sky back into earth. Before division, the one was bisexual, the parental unity of flesh of both. The combined object is the psychoanalytic relic of this cosmic marriage. Desire is the memory of the body once undivided. The child dreams, the parents embrace, because it is his own lost form. To imagine union is to remember and recreate the original body. The primal one divides only to rediscover itself through love. The brothers seal their fraternity by repeating the primal cut. To cut the calf in twain is to divide the body of peace in order to create union. Covenant is sacrificial anatomy turned into law. To pass between halves is to walk the threshold between death and kinship. The alliance of brothers rests upon shared guilt. Society is founded not on love, but on the memory of a wound. The brothers enact in play the union they destroyed. Their rivalry is imitation. Wrestling as coitus, aggression as identification. Each brother takes in turn the place of the father and mother. The bed becomes the battlefield the parental bed. Civilization's games are sublimated incest. The world continues through the brothers' erotic reenactment of origin. The first covenant is oral, to eat is to unite. Coitus is mouth and wound, ingestion and exchange. Cosmos devours itself to reproduce itself. The breast and the phallus are the same organ transposed. Every feast is a funeral, every Eucharist a coitus. Pleasure and death share a single mouth. To love is to eat the other's image. Devouring is knowledge, the first theology of appetite. The parental act appears in the child's dream as mutual consumption. To taste is to remember the lost body of union. Cannibalism and communion are inverse expressions of nostalgia. Civilization is the digestion of God. There are always only two, Cain and Abel, Romulus and Remus, Osiris and Set. One kills the other to become himself. The survivor carries the wound of the slain as his soul. Fraternity culminates in fratricide. Love returns as guilt. Every city is founded upon a brother's blood. The polis is the grave that became a government. Every republic begins with a murder remembered as law. The innocent blood is the cement of institutions. Constitutions are written in sacrificial syntax. Democracy is the sublimation of civil war. When fraternity becomes politics, every vote is a symbolic wound. Liberty is built upon the corpse of kinship. The fratricide repeats itself in every psyche. The ego and the id, and Romulus and Remus within the skull. The superego is the city wall raised over the brother's grave. Consciousness is a tomb that legislates. To forgive oneself is to raise the dead brother inside. History is a long reconciliation of internal war. The vision of guilt, the devouring breast meet in the Eucharist of the psyche. The brothers reenact the parents, coitus as reconciliation and revenge. Love's body is the site of perpetual consumption and renewal. Consumption, the feast, is complete when the body is one again. The end of psychoanalysis is the beginning of communion. The ricorso begins anew, from wound to word, from blood to speech. The giant's resurrection through the tongue, language as flesh, resurrection as speech. The resurrection of the body is language. Every resurrection is phonetic. The soul rises as vibration. The body returns as resonance, a grammar of flesh reborn into sound. When the corpse speaks, we call it poetry. Language is the second incarnation. The logos clothed in air. The tombstone is the first page. To utter a word is to roll away the stone. The giants speak in scales of thunder. Their syntax is seismic. They do not reason, they resound. Each vowel is a muscle of heaven reflexed. Their words are too large for sentences, they build mountains of meaning. When man speaks in grammar, the giant sings in genealogy. They are the arch-etymons, the world remembering itself aloud. Before the hand built, the tongue shaped. The mouth is the first forge, breath the prime element. Articulation is architecture, consonants as columns, vowels as vaults. Every culture is a cathedral of phonemes. To speak rightly is to construct reality's skeleton. The giant's roar is the blueprint of creation. Their law is analogy, their justice proportion. They conjugate gods and mortals in the same tense. Declension becomes descent from noun to name to soul. Syntax is the resurrection arranged in order. To break grammar is to commit a small apocalypse. The poet restores grammar to its Edenic body. Names are fossils of light. The giant remembers the original name before Babel. Each language dreams of returning to that pre-lapsarian monologue. Translation is pilgrimage towards the lost utterance. To rename is to resurrect. The new gods will be nouns of pure energy. The new gods will be nouns of pure energy. Tower of Babel was the first vocal cord of the world. Its fall scattered syllables like seeds. Now the giants rise again as bridges of tongues, every tower rebuilt in sound. Architecture is frozen speech, speech is architecture melting. The internet is the latest tower's whisper. When all voices reharmonize, Babel will be redeemed. Gigantomachy of meaning, every philosophy is a new war of giants, words against words. Etymology replaces swordplay, debate replaces battle. Dialectic is the duel of reincarnated gods of speech. From their conflict rises the harmony of comprehension. Logos feeds on agon. Every dialogue is a cosmic wrestling match resolved into grammar. The poet is the giant reborn in miniature. His breath contains the architecture of myths. He speaks in earthquakes scaled to human lungs. Verse is the disciplined giganticism of spirit. Every poem is a titan's footprint made audible. To write is to walk again among the gods. Eros ascends through the throat. Desire becomes articulation. The kiss becomes a syllable. Speech is love distributed through air. The voice joins what the body once divided. Resurrection is the reconciliation of breath and flesh. The final union is vocal. In the end, the word returns to the flesh, having learned meaning. What the giants broke, the poet rebuilds. Language gathers the scattered limbs of myth into new coherence. Each sentence is a miniature ricorso, the cycle repeated in syntax. When all words are remembered, the world will speak itself whole. Then Eros and Logos will be one, the body of love made entirely by speech. All right, that's the end of part 9. I'll see you guys later.